talk then. Someone should talk. It's obviously already a shambles. Can you believe that? I'm amazed that we're back on the air and it's already a shambles.
What are you doing?
What?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking, no one was speaking, the record was ending, no one was speaking, it was just well, I might shut off. Already, I might shut off. It's like nothing's changed.
Boys are back in town, on XFM 104.9. We're back then, aren't we, Carl? I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant, and Karl Pilkington. I'm not coming back, I'm definitely not coming back. Care someone, care that I'm not coming back.
Rick, I seem to remember the end of the last time we were on, what was that, 3 months ago?
Yeah, 3 months ago.
Carl said he's never going to do the show again. There was nothing that was going to bring him back.
Yeah.
He didn't enjoy it, wasn't going to do it.
All the ruse, right?
Really?
Yes. I've known him coming back for about 2 months, you know, because he's got our agent now, representing him.
I thought he was a fool.
I haven't really.
Why?
Well, what's he done for me?
What's he done for us?
No, I know, but I mean, he's your agent, so, and he's sort of calling Graham. And it was all a con, so Carl could get Mondays off. Poor Graham, the station's struggling enough as it is.
Yeah.
It's like running around like a headless chicken.
Yeah.
No one's listening, That's why I don't bother talking on the record then, because there's no loss to London.
Sure.
Right? It's pointless, this show. We don't do it for the money, we don't do it for the kudos. I don't know why we do it.
No.
There's anything on telly at this time, I could have had to lie in.
I know.
But, it's all a ruse to get Mondays. He's got Mondays off now, because he has to do the show, 2 hours, right? And he's still getting paid, and it's all a con because he knows that he's holding him over a barrel, and it's like, oh, we've got to keep Carl happy. Right?
I had Mondays and Tuesdays off before Duncan got involved.
No, but you know what I mean, though? And it's like, poor Graham, who's the MD, in charge of the thing, probably pulling his hair out, worrying about the station, right? You know, it's a sinking ship. And then Carl comes along, well, I'll do it, but I want Mondays off. He's probably sitting home now, his family, he's probably ridiculed by...
Yeah.
His wife.
His kids almost certainly would have lost all respect for him. He's been fooled by Karl Pilkington.
He calls his mates and goes, oh, I'm busy, Graham, I don't, I just can't think. It's just...
It's embarrassing.
But do you know what I mean? And you think it's funny, and you think you've got one over him, he's going, oh, Monday's off for 2 hours. Yeah, you do, you think it was, and now you're embarrassed because you said it on air. But you're only conning yourself in the long run, because, do you know what I mean? I hate that sort of, the world owes me a living, what can I get out of the world? What are you gonna give back to the world, Carl? What are you doing now then? You're gonna prepare Mondays?
No, I told you,
what have you prepared for this show now? You've had 3 months to prepare.
Yeah.
What have you got? What have you got for us? Okay, what's happened in the last 3 months?
What? In this place or just my life?
Well, what have you got for us? 3 months, we're turning about, you get Mondays off, you're getting paid for it, you've got a cushy deal, you're having a laugh, you're taking the piss out of the management, right? So, what have you got for us?
Give it to us.
I've kind of, updated Rockbusters a bit.
Right, brilliant.
Yeah.
Right. So, and you said don't mess with it. If something's good, don't mess with it.
What do you mean it wasn't good?
It was never good.
It was never good.
No,
of course we had to fix it.
It was fun to do. It was a laugh. I mean, I imagine it was much more fun for me than the 450 listeners. You know what I mean? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed squeezing your head and dressing you up.
No, but that's just it. When I had a meeting with Graham, right, I said, look, I'm not being funny. I don't want to do it anymore. I've had enough of it.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, what's up with you? You sounds like you have a right good laugh. I said, yeah, but that's all good acting and stuff. I said, it's hell in there. I said,
like he's talking about Vietnam.
Yeah.
I
said, having my head squoze, right?
What?
Squoze
is still not a word. We've been away 3 months, it's still not a word.
Right?
Yeah.
I said he's putting a dustbin lid on my head.
Yeah. You told this to the MD!
He's hitting me with a tray.
Yeah.
He's chucking toilet paper at me.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, but that's all over 2 years. I said, no, that was the same day.
Okay then, what has changed in 3 months? They're listening, they've been listening for 6 minutes now. Come on, give us something.
Bit of Nickelback.
What's happened in 3
play a
days?
record and let him think.
3 months?
What, in my life or in here? Nothing's happened here, nothing's changed here.
Right.
But, I don't know, do you know last time we were on?
Yeah.
Right? And, I was telling you about the woman over the road. Where I live.
The one that walked around naked?
There's a woman who walks about the flat naked,
This is when, Carl was watching a woman naked, then she looked at, saw him looking, so what he did, this is the genius he did to get out of this, he pulled his pants down, so he was naked too. His girlfriend comes in and goes, Carl, what are you doing? He went, I can't tell you now, but don't look out of the window. Yeah, go on, sorry.
That woman, she's bought some blinds.
Nickelback someday on XFM 104.9.
How old's the bloke from Nickelback? He looks about 40.
It reminds me of, you know when a kid's made up a fate to look like a lion?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like the Wizard of Oz lion.
Yeah.
But, you know, good tune.
Not bad.
I'll be controversial. I think rock rules the world again, Steve.
Well, I'd hope so, mate. I'd hope so.
Do you know what I mean?
Are we going to hear some rock later in the show?
We're going to hear lots of rock.
Excellent.
In fact, I might even play a little bit of Rainbow.
Blimey.
Just to, you know, rewind. We've got the darkness, but
Sure.
I want to remind them where it all came from.
Yeah.
You've heard the Liz.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to hear the Bow.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for that. No, just high five.
Yeah. So, Carl.
Yeah, keep it real.
Here we are then.
Oh,
Back.
incidentally, before we carry
on.
on, I just thought, it's weird, I was reading some of the fan emails and stuff we've got, and one of the things a lot of people like, it divides the listeners, is your laugh. It's interesting. Some people love it, they find it infectious, they find it adorable.
I mean, close up in a small space, like a kitchen
Terrifying.
or something, it's annoying. Like,
Horrific.
Carl was annoyed, because I squeaked in his ear earlier, didn't I?
Sure.
Why did I laugh?
He was on the toilet.
I think I squeezed his head again, didn't I? And he said, no, it's not 1
He
o'clock
doesn't
yet.
like disclosing.
The Scrozen head.
But,
Yeah.
but
He's
it
the
just-
Scrozen one.
The funny thing is, right, we were out a few weeks ago with a mate of mine, right, and he went to squeeze my head, right, give it a squoze,
Sure.
and I was like, don't do that, you know, I don't like it, right, and Ricky said to me, mate, yeah, he doesn't like having his head squoze, as if it's like Marmite, as if some people love it,
Yeah, yeah.
and some people hate it.
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Well, anyway,
That's it, yeah.
there was a little taster of the laugh. That was more the kind of deep, throaty laugh, the belly laugh. But there's that kind of high-pitched squeak that you do.
When I've got to
sometimes.
get air out quickly, because
Exactly.
I'm going to burst. Sometimes I laugh so much that my liver and all they try and get out of it, so I have to get it out really fast, like a siren.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Is that how you explain the fact that you're quite fat?
Yeah,
That's just laughter waiting to come out.
Yeah,
Every time you laugh,
solid.
you become a svelte young thing, like Brett Anderson.
Oh dear.
Well, anyway, it reminded me of the game that you and I used to play in our very early days of XFM, when it was literally
Make Ricky Gervais laugh.
Make Ricky Gervais Laugh, which was a
Lovely.
great game. I
I
think.
remember the first one. It was that fella drinking a pint of beer.
Yeah.
I remember the very first time.
It
yeah.
never. I tell you what, it's
you
not
know what
great.
though? Ant and Dec do it now. They
Do
do. They actually. It's very similar to Make Ricky Laugh. It's called Make Ant Laugh.
Interesting.
So
many of our great ideas have been stolen.
Yeah.
Or stoled.
Stoled, yeah.
Anyway, I was looking through the paper in the week, and there was a picture which which I think might be a Ricky Gervais, Make Ricky Gervais Laugh. I don't know. And again, obviously, it doesn't really work for the listeners at home, but I'll try and do my best to describe it.
Can we stop saying my name because it's like a Dave Gorman project? Can we just stop? It's getting. Let's say a word often enough, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Let's stop saying Ricky Gervais.
Well, what we're going to refer to you as. All right. Well, Make Patty Laugh is a new game. I'm trying to get one of those squeaks of a laugh. I'm concerned because I know.
I'm not a monkey. I'm not
Sure,
a
you're not a performing monkey.
No, okay.
I know that.
Right.
But anyway, let me just briefly summarise the story for those at home.
Okay.
The headline was Mum 48, a mother of 48 seduced boy of 14.
Well, that's not funny.
Not her own boy, obviously, but
still.
a neighbourhood child.
I don't think it's a funny
said-
story so far.
He said Grand Lana Allen, 48, led him upstairs and undressed to her waist, then took his trousers off. Okay, bear that in mind. This is a quote from him, right? Bear in mind, he's a 14-year-old boy, he's quite excited about this. He says, then we had sex, it was every boy's fantasy. Alright?
You're going to show me the picture of her now, aren't you?
So it's a picture of her.
Oh, this is not.
Bear in mind,
This is.
in his own words, Rick,
Right.
in his own words, this was every boy's fantasy.
Okay.
Here's the picture. It's a silent laugh. He's collapsed on the floor.
I wasn't expecting. I was thinking it looked like a fat man. I was not expecting that. Oh my god. Oh god. She looks like the drummer of Iron Maiden.
She looks a bit like Lemmy. But I tell you, she looks like reminds me of most. Did you see those?
They've got one with a fag on as well.
I know.
It's just that's her with them out of makeup though.
Carl, have you seen Every Boy's Fantasy?
You should see. Oh god!
Have a look, Carl.
Oh god.
How old is she?
48.
Oh god. Oh, 48. That's lovely. Nothing wrong with that.
I'll tell you, if you didn't see, you weren't lucky enough to see the picture, she looks just like the oldest man in the world?
I was shopping with Carl before Christmas, and we went round sort of Piccadilly and St James's, and there's really beautiful shops around there. And I went in one shop. You had to ring a bell to enter.
Yeah.
They came down, and it's like a iconoclastic sort of shop, and they found things from churches and nearly all Russian 16th century pieces onwards. This beautiful carvings and paintings and statues, and I went, oh, it's beautiful. And as I was looking round, I heard Carl sidle up to the bloke and go, what's the newest thing you've got here?
Yeah, sure, that's his first thought.
I mean, that is the wrong question to ask of a man who's clearly in antiques.
Yeah.
Proud of the fact he's got 16th century iconoclastic Russian stuff, to ask, what's the newest thing you've got here? I mean, what sort of question is that? Oh, I don't know, probably the doorbell. I don't know, what does he want out of my shirt? What were you thinking?
hoping for?
I think it's an alright question, because he was saying there's loads of old stuff in there, and he kept going on about the old stuff. So what was to say? Well, what's the newest thing you've got?
And what was?
Do you know what he said? The other question he asked him, he said, "How often do you get new stuff in?" And I said to him, "Why did you ask that?" He said, "Well, I was thinking, if you got antiques and you sell it all, what's left? Like someone's going to sell all the antiques in the world because they're not making." He said, "Because they're not making any new stuff." What does that mean? They're not making any new stuff.
But I know for a fact no one's ever going to go in there and buy the lot anyway. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I'm not at any point in my life, and I don't think it'll ever happen, will I go, I need some old Russian wood. Because
it was brilliant.
No,
it was, Steve.
No.
It was beautiful. It's amazing stuff. There's stuff. There's these things from the 16th century of sort of like saints and monks, and they're carved.
But
and
there's loads of it. It's just all piled up. No one's interested. If I was him, I'd go, do you know what? I'm into this, but no one else is. Close shop. Because seriously, it's just piled up, piles up on piles of like old bits of wood with pictures on it and that.
But just think of a man 400 years ago that carved this, you know...
No, but nobody wants it, do they? I've never heard anyone say, you know, oh, look, it's my birthday coming up. I'll tell you what I'd love.
What?
A bit of old Russian wood. It doesn't happen. That's what I'm saying. I've never heard anyone saying it like... I've never overheard someone saying, you don't know where the Russian shop is, do you? And this is in London, where the rates are high. There was this thing, right, Steve? Them old drawings on, like...
It was like a panel from a church that someone had painted,
right, yeah.
And I think it was like, you know, from sort of like 1590 or something.
Yeah.
And it was this, a picture of this, this saint, wasn't it?
So 1590, it could be from any time, really. So there's this one there, right, leaning up against the wall, and most of them in there was that Stalin bloke, right? But there was this little...
Right, can I just stop with there? Lenin.
Right,
Okay.
alright then.
Yeah.
So he was on all these bits of wood and stuff, but I saw this other little face, right, little fella with a beard, right? So I said, who's this bloke here? He said, oh, the story there, right? He said, it's this little fella, and he got mugged back in Russia. This is right, isn't it? This is what he was saying. He said he got mugged.
It's just that term, I love that term in a 16th century Russian wood. Oh no, I'm being mugged.
So he got mugged.
He got happy slapped.
And he said, I've had enough of this, right?
Yeah.
And he went to live in the woods, right? Made like a little shed, stayed there. People went to visit him, and like, if you got a problem, you knock on his door and you go, oh, I'm sick of it. And he'll sort of say, yeah, I know what you mean, I've moved out of the city and what have you. And he'd make them feel better, and then they go again. Now, why has that man got a plaque? If he was around now, there's no way he'd have a bit of wood with his face on it, is what I'm saying. If someone had got fed up with living in London or New York or whatever, and they go, I'm going to go and live in the woods, people wouldn't visit him, and he wouldn't get a piece of wood with his face on, is what I'm saying. But this man is selling it for about, I think it was about 750 quid for this bloke's head.
But the chances are that this is either a well-known Russian folktale, or it may even be a piece of classic Russian literature.
He's a saint. He was a saint.
Oh, okay.
He was
well, in which
canonised.
case,
Everybody was a saint years ago. That seems to be, like, thrown about, doesn't it? Who's a saint now? Name him one now. Yeah, this fella lived in the woods in a hut. Oh, yeah, that's Saint John or whatever. He's not a saint. He's done nothing. If anything, he's sort of said, I can't be bothered with living in a city with everyone else. Everyone else has got to put up with it, but I can't put up with it. I'm going to live in the woods. Well, if you can't put up with it, you're not good enough, are you? You've got no stamina. And yet he gets a plaque, is what I'm saying. It's annoying.
Who would you like to see get a plaque in the modern world? Who deserves a plaque, in your opinion?
Probably like nurses and that, who do a lot of bad things that I think I couldn't do that. Carrying lungs about and all that. No, but I couldn't do you know what I mean? That's one job that... my mum wanted me to be a doctor.
Whoa! What was she thinking? Oh, what's her expectations like now?
Apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Oh, when did she start giving up that dream? At what age did she start going, Carl, you don't need to study your books anymore. Go and play with the worms in the garden. When did she sort of like let you off that dream?
Is it the day that she caught you with a spoon up your nose?
But anyway, talking of emails and that, right? Nick, who's emailed from Australia, right, Melbourne, he's been going on about dolphins and that, problems with dolphins.
What problems?
He's just saying when that wind happened, there was like a bad wind thing going on.
Hold on, wait a minute. What bad wind?
In America, they had that
Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
Right.
And there was like a little bay with dolphins in it, and that, with all guns on them and stuff.
What? Whoa.
Because they use dolphins, don't they? They say they're an intelligent animal and stuff.
Yeah.
And they've got them all like, they've all had the training. They're all like ready for battle and stuff.
Right.
Got like rifles on them.
What do you mean rifles? How can they hold a rifle? How can they hold a rifle?
No, it's sort of on a strap and that.
What do you mean it's on a strap?
I don't know what they kit them out with, but they're just ready for war.
What are you talking about?
Listen though, that isn't the point. Don't worry about it.
Oh, we leave that one, do we? That's not the point, so let's leave it.
So they're swimming about.
Yeah, with rifles and berets.
Whatever they've got on.
Yeah.
Right, ready for battle and stuff.
Yeah, ready for battle, yeah.
The wind comes in.
The wind comes in.
Hurricane Katrina.
Makes a wave and that. They get out of the little bay.
Yeah.
Still all kitted out. With all the, weapons.
You're talking bollocks.
Steve, do you want to look at the email?
Well, there's no way. There's loads of dolphins now swimming round, kitted out with guns and that, with a strap. How can a dolphin hold a... Again, you've been watching Planet of the Apes. Oh, he's trying to talk to us. What's he saying? He's saying, go ahead, punk, make my day. Look, you're talking shit.
It's just news to say if there's dolphins, if you see a dolphin in that, don't go, oh, it's friendly. Because there's some with weapons now. So I'm just reading it out on email. That'll cover it and that. So
bollocks. We've got a little email straight away, Carl, from Nikki in Beverly Hills, California. She says, Carl, you rock. I hate it when Ricky and Steve ridicule you. I checked out your picture. Although your head is not normal, that's no reason to ridicule you. You look gimp, but I never judge a book by the cover.
Cheers.
Is that all you've got to say?
Well, it's only because I've got no hair, though, isn't it? That's why it gives that effect.
No, it's perfectly round your head. It's perfectly spherical head. Your face is slightly too big for it. It almost goes over the sides. Perfectly round head. Pug little nose, funny gimp eyes with no expression, hangdog look, like a little mouth, like a little lamprey, not formed, not human formed. The way your expression is like you've had a lobotomy. Your head goes weird at the back. It's got a little nod in it, like it's really strange, your face, and you're stupid.
We've had a lot of emails saying that. I mean, I think he's just paraphrasing, but... talking of emails, a couple of... I can't remember which show it was, but you mentioned, Carl, that you'd only recently seen a Chinese homeless person.
Oh, yeah.
And it really surprised you because you'd never seen a Chinese homeless person.
No.
And I actually went along with that. I've still never seen a Chinese homeless person.
Well, now, I can just tell you now that there's a few responses from Los Angeles, people saying there are quite a lot of Chinese homeless people over there because apparently there's a huge homeless community in Los Angeles. So definitely if you want to see them, Carl, that's the place to go. But we've had one from Vancouver, Canada, from a girl called Amy, and Amy herself is Chinese, and she says that she realised herself that she'd never really seen a Chinese homeless person. And although she says that apparently Vancouver has the first or second largest Chinese population in Canada, she'd never seen them, and she actually went for a walk around the Chinatown in her area looking for them, and she could not find any on that particular day. So again, Canada obviously not a place to go for a Chinese homeless.
It was just a point, though. I don't want people sort of...
Well, hold on, though. Wait, I'll stop you there. Hello, Ricky, Steve and Carl. I live in New York City and have seen a Chinese homeless person. Not only is he Chinese, but he is also a midget. He's been living on the streets for the last 30 years. He used to dress in rags, but thanks to a coat drive, he's now wearing a fancy Adidas jacket, right? Now he encloses a picture. He says he gave him $10 to take the picture, and I've seen it, and he's a little Chinese midget fella.
I'm just getting a bit worried that people are going out there sort of looking for these. Because they, you know,
that's what you requested.
No, but all I was saying is, I saw one, I didn't start saying, excuse me, can you just give us a smile, I'm taking your picture. Do you know
We've
what I
had
mean?
loads of pictures of people.
I know, and it worries me a little bit. And I mean, it's not too bad about the one who took one of a little midget one, because, you know, if he kicked off, it'd be quite easy to sort of hold him back. But I'm talking about fully grown.
So is that your warning to people? Don't be taking pictures of fully grown Chinese homeless?
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, you know, don't be messing about going up to strangers and that and annoying them and stuff, right?
Put it down!
Have a go.
That's the sort of level we're talking about!
Well, already you've got some insight into the mind of Carl Pilkington.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But I thought what we should do is we could hijack.
Imagine that! Imagine Bill Gates!
Yeah, or a teacher. In an exam. Hot down both.
Multiple choice!
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, okay.
But anyway, yeah, if you're a reader of the Weekend Guardian, you know there's this thing called the Q&A, which they give to celebrities and thinkers and the like. And basically it's a series of questions they pose to people each week, and it's the same questions, and it gives little insight into people's minds, the way they think.
What thinker philosopher is in this week's?
It's the lead singer of Feeder. So, you're in good company, Carl.
No, I like Feeder.
No, fine.
I love Feeder.
So, Carl, I'm just going to fire a couple of these questions at you. We'll maybe drop them in throughout the course of the show, just to try and get a sense of who you are. So, here's the first question. Alright, you got your thinking head on?
Go on.
You Wurzel.
What is your idea of perfect happiness?
What, for me, or?
Already?
No, Ronnie Corbett.
No, but what, do you mean, like, what will make me happy, or for everyone to be happy?
No, what would make you happy? Maybe that's the answer. Your idea of perfect happiness is everyone being happy. I don't know. What would make you totally blissfully happy?
I imagine it's a 24-hour monkey channel on, like, the sky.
Yeah! Okay, go on. A
What's your idea
never-ending
of perfect
popsicle. Go on.
I don't think I've had it yet where I'm, like, really, really happy with anything.
Carl, I've never seen you really happy, no.
No, but,
when have you been at your happiest?
probably, I like sort of fish fingers, potato cakes and beans for tea.
Yeah.
And
You're not, yeah.
Right, well, let's move on. We'll come back to that one. Let's move on.
I don't think you're aiming high enough for,
Well, what would your answer be for that? When are you happy? What would make you happy?
I wouldn't have I'd have fish fingers, but I probably wouldn't have the potato cakes.
Yeah.
I'd have fish fingers and beans. With
See, I'm not a huge fan of the beans.
Really? So your idea of, perfect happiness is probably just fish fingers, is it?
Just the fish fingers.
Okay, good.
Alright, second question. What is your greatest fear, Carl?
Going to the doctors.
So presumably, ill health and mortality. That's how you do it, you see.
No, I don't.
Any particular doctor?
I don't want to live forever either.
No,
I just want
no.
good innings. I just want to get to about 80, 83, 84.
Specific! So specific! Yeah, okay.
Which living person do you most admire?
Uh,
Which person throughout any time in history do you most admire?
Winston Churchill's pretty good.
You like
Yeah,
him?
it's very good.
He's
Why?
alright.
Good answer.
Because if it wasn't for him, we'd be talking German. I'm not that good at that. So,
He's not that good at that. I love that even if the Nazis won, right, in 1945, and we'd be now speaking German, he still wouldn't be that good at it. Although he's not good at English, so I suppose that's true, isn't it? Yeah.
Alright, well here's the final one for now. Do you believe in capital punishment?
That's not it in Dr. Fox over the head with a stick.
depends what for, doesn't it?
Go on.
Oh, if it's something bad. And,
Well, I assume it would be. They don't kill people now for parking illegally.
But what sort of thing are you talking about? What sort of punishment?
Capital punishment.
Yeah, I know, but what is that? What are you talking about?
Well, guillotine, hanging.
Hanging's a bit bad.
Yeah. Can be fatal, can't it? What do you mean hanging's a bit bad?
It's
all bad. Why should the state kill someone?
Because prisons are getting a bit busy, aren't they?
Brilliant. Okay.
What's the point in keeping them, people around?
Well, what's the point in killing them?
Just because it's like, right, that's that done, who's next? Do you know what I mean? What can you do with someone if they're mental?
Employ him on a radio show!
Yeah.
Play a record,
Right,
Carl.
next question.
Play a record.
Okay.
We'll come back to the questions.
What do you want? What have you got in here?
Rick, I know you're a massive fan of the Thorns.
Yeah,
But maybe you're less familiar with the different elements of the Thorns' solo work.
No,
This is a track
no.
from Matthew Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
XFM 104.9, Matthew Sweet, and a song called In My Time, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
That's great, that.
Yeah, just asking Karl some of these Q&A questions.
This might be my idea of perfect happiness, being in a room with Karl Pilkington.
Yeah.
Just what I just watch him look around. When you're talking, he looks at you, and it's like, you know when the owners say, it's like the cat can understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like he's
got
on
that
the
same
edge
look.
of that. He's
Yeah.
on the edge of that. You think he can, and I know he understands the words, but I don't think he understands the full impact. Whenever you say something to him, it might be some, you know, a revelation or something, he always picks up on the wrong side. You go, well, that's not the important bit. Do you know what I mean? He always goes...
It's a bit like having a 14-year-old French exchange student. You know, their English is not amazing. They roughly understand you, but they're trying to piece together what you're saying.
Exactly. But it's great. You see, the thing about Karl is, and don't take this the wrong way, I like him because he's stupid, in a way. No, I'm not being funny, but do you know what I mean? But even though I think he is considered stupid, some of the things he says, I think borders on the, I don't know what the PC term is, the retarded. Do you know what I mean,
Yeah.
Karl?
Anything in particular you're thinking of there, Rick, when you think of the...
Well, he was talking to me the other day because I'm trying to write a show called Science, and he's sort of going to help me out with some of the research, and I want him to do some on the DVD for it, right? And he was talking about it, and he was talking about he says that in the future they reckon we'll be able to soon. He said they'll be able to take us into space, and it's going to cost us £150,000. Said, what's the point? There's nothing up there. He said when they went up there, right? He said when Louis Armstrong went in 1966, right? He said it was nothing there. So there was him, a fella called Buzz. There was one and third bloke that didn't even get out of the spaceship. He said he went all that way. He didn't get out to stretch his legs. How good can it be? Forget it. That's him summing up space exploration.
Don't you agree with that? What's the point in going up there?
Because you're
Are we talking about the finger in the arse again here, or space?
No, what is the point in going
Because you're expanding, you know, human endeavour, aren't you, and the human understanding of the world and the universe. It's like, what else are we going to do as a civilization, as a people, if we're not constantly searching and, you know, and reaching out into the far distance?
But there's nothing there, though.
I know some people you grew up with that haven't left their street, but that's not everyone.
But what is it? What do you mean there's nothing there? Then what has got to be there for it to be worthwhile? Like,
Just something.
what,
I mean,
like,
to be honest,
What would you be happy with finding out on
what's
the
the
moon?
video?
Just something. I don't think they looked hard enough anyway when they got there, because they seemed to get out, have a bit of a dance about, and then they came straight back. And I sort of think, you know, did they look properly?
It's not a day trip, is it?
But what I mean
But they
is...
took that car out there, didn't they, and drove around a bit?
Yeah, but only a little bit. What I mean is, say if an alien landed in Africa, there's not much there, so they'd go...
What do you mean there's not much there?
Well, it's a bit barren, isn't it?
What, Africa? Just in general?
Well, so anywhere like that,
the-
desert or whatever, what I'm saying is,
It's got-
have a good look round.
Probably where all life came from, and probably 500,000 species of animals live there.
Buildings and that, and stuff.
Oh, buildings.
Well, just stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, did they look properly? Or did they just land, get out, go, oh, bit dusty or whatever, right, let's go back? I just think it's a bit pointless. Especially when we haven't done everything there is to do here.
Go on.
Well, I don't know, but I'm sure there is stuff. That needs sorting out.
Well, I know the place that there's no medical man has been. In this room.
Yeah.
There's definitely an unexplored, cavern. Sitting right in front.
Right, alright Steve, would you go to the moon if someone said there's a space?
He doesn't march at a concert because he's scared his glasses to fall off. Of course he wouldn't go to the moon. They'd spin him round in training, his glasses would come off, and that'll be it. He'd feel sick.
My worry is I'm not sure would I be able to wear them under the helmet?
Imagine him!
Like I went paintballing once, and I had to wear the glasses underneath the mask, and of course it was a bit hot weather, it was all it was steamed up in there. So I couldn't see anything, I got shot straight away, I was out of the game, it was pointless. You know, it cost me like £8.
Yeah.
You don't have to be that fit anyway, do you? You're only sort of sat there.
Well, not, well, yeah, but what are you talking about? Think of G-force alone and weightlessness. Of course you've got to be, what?
I think when you said think of G-force, he thought of G4. The follow-up winners in Pop Idol. I could see it as his eyes glazed over. A couple more quick questions for you, Carl, just try and get inside your mind. what is your greatest regret?
Probably, I didn't do that well at school, did I? So I'm trying to, like, learn stuff now.
Yeah.
But not mentally, but, you know.
He reckons he's learned more in the last 3 months than he ever has in the rest of his life, reading a couple of science books I gave him.
Well, that's impressive. We'll test you on that later on.
Yeah.
What keeps you awake at night?
Well, I live in sort of central London, don't I? So it's
brilliant.
Traffic and that. I think they were thinking more
of what fears have you got? What worries do you ponder the expansion of the universe? Do you worry about
There's no point, is there? 'Cause there's nothing I can do about it.
So what with you? It's the little Chinese fellow across the road.
Just stuff that I've got to sort out. You know, any bills or anything. I don't worry about the world ending or anything. What's the point in that?
It's true. That is true.
I can't do anything about it. I always think that people with more sort of intelligence have the world on their shoulders. Because they're worrying about stuff that's miles away, whereas I'm like, you know, I'm happy if the sun's out, it's like, oh, it's a nice day.
Yeah.
I don't worry about wars and stuff going on, because there's nothing I can do.
What would you do if there was a war that maybe there was...
What, here?
Yeah.
Go on holiday.
Play a record, Carl.